Good day everyone, this is the 9th episode in wire bending series. Today we are going to do cut and bend spring on the upper left canine, which is made from 0.6mm stainless steel wire. This is the cut and bend spring, which is used for distal movement of the canines, and these are the parts of cut and bend spring. Then we start the first part, which is the coil. It is about 3mm in internal diameter. So we are going to make a U-loop. Then the distal arm usually will be closer to the cast and the medial arm will be away from the cast, so that we move the coil in such a way that the medial arm is going to be up and the distal arm is going to be down. While situated just mesial to the long axis of the second premolar, and it should be 2mm away from the deepest area of the oral vestibule. The second part is the distal arm, which is going to extend straight occlusally from the coil and till the gingival margin of the tooth. So this is the distal arm. We are going to mark at the level of the gingival margin of the tooth. which will start by a 90-degree bend in the distal arm directed anteriorly toward the canine. So we grasp it from the point and we are going to do a 90-degree bend using the pyramidal side of the flare. So this is the active arm. It starts by a 90-degree bend from the distal arm and passing anteriorly to the canine. Then we are going to do a curve towards the mesial surface of the canine in order to engage the undercut between the canine and the lateral incisor. So it's going to contact the canine only. Then we are going to use the player to make adaptation of the end of the active arm to the mesial surface of the canine. The active arm will end just below the contact point between the lateral incisor and the canine, and the level of the active arm will be at the gingival third of the teeth, passing parallel to the occlusal line. The arm is separated by a small distance from the teeth and only touching the canine. Part is the mesial arm, which extends straight occlusally from the coil to the contact area between the first and second premolar. May be slightly curved toward the teeth in order to contact the teeth before starting the occlusal bend. So we are going to grasp it here and we will do a slight curve toward the cast to contact the teeth. So before starting the occlusal bend, we should make sure that the wire is touching the cast to get adaptation. So we grasp it by the pyramidal side. We will do a trial bend. We start to do the occlusal bend. We are going to mark the point of contact with the first and second premolar. The occlusal part must be well adapted prevent interference with the occlusion. Then we will point here. Bend for the rotative tag. That will end up by a 90-degree bend directed toward the pellet of about 0.5 mm length, and it should be at least 2 mm away from the perpendicular line. The flag will extend straight downward between the first and second.